Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And you know, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is like 2 months away. A little over 2 months, but 2 months nonetheless. And there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the movie. And I'm not just referring to the fact that it's the end of the Skywalker saga, that it's going to be wrapping up Mark Hamill's 40 some odd years in the role of Luke Skywalker. It's going to be tightening up all those loose ends that J.J. Abrams served up to Rian Johnson, and then Rian Johnson fundamentally shat on. None of those. It's got a lot of pressure on its shoulders already as it is. But the thing I found to be the most interesting has been the leaks coming out about this movie. Oftentimes, when it comes to Star Wars leaks, generally it's reserved to someone like Mike Zero. Mike Zero comes along and he does like 4, 5 videos a day with all these new leaks that make no sense and they never really come true, but he does it. And it's kind of thing. I'm not mocking him. I literally think it's a thing of beauty that he does it. I think it's a thing of beauty that he's able to sit there and come up with these like 6, 7 minute long videos multiple times a day out of thin air. I consider myself a creative person. I'm not even that good. So he's got some kind of thing. It's good for him. And the thing is, he gets the legitimacy from some outlets, right? Metro.co.uk used to run his headlines constantly, used to give him validation constantly. Now that seemed to have slowed down a little bit. I haven't checked to see if they're still doing it, but I don't know, maybe. And now we're seeing We Got This Covered is being a big one. That's the one that everyone's running with now, even though that one comes across more often than not as clickbait. There's also Mikey Sutton, who's actually, for the most part, been kind of batting 1,000 on this one. He's not batting 1,000. I think that's a good saying. He's doing well, I should say, is how I want to say it. I don't know my baseball sayings because I haven't played in a long time. I think batting 1,000 is not a good thing. And the point I'm trying to get to here is that like leaks are a thing. Leaks are happening, especially on Reddit. And Reddit leaks are getting talked about constantly. I've done videos on them. I think Den of Nerds does like one new tidbit of leaks roughly every single day. I give him credit for playing the long game on that one. I really do. And I watch the videos too, because I genuinely like the guy. So there was a headline I saw and I couldn't find it again before recording this video, but it got me thinking. And that was, are the leaks ruining The Rise of Skywalker? Are they ruining the movie? And I think the idea of the article there essentially was that it is posing the question, are all of these leaks, the constant discussion over these leaks, is it destroying the anticipation for the movie? Is it destroying our going in blind? Are people who are watching these and not happy, or reading these leaks and they're not happy with how it's turning out, are they going to sit there and then be upset going and seeing the movie because either the leaks were confirmed to be real or the leaks weren't confirmed to be real and they had their mind made up already about the movie, and that was just, you know, their speculation going into it? No, that's not how it works at all. It's really, really, really not. The human mind can understand and detect a lot of BS, I think, but it also, in absence of evidence, it will sometimes create evidence, right? That's where speculation and theories come from, which is one of the reasons why that they're fun, especially when it comes to YouTube. Theories are one thing. It's when theories are treated as absolute fact by some people out there, it becomes a bit of a pain in the ass. But most people, when they approach a Star Wars theory, it's because they're curious to, to discuss it and see what it could be, so on and so forth. However, right now it feels like every day there's a new theory. I was getting ready to record this and I saw that We Got This Covered like a day or two ago, ran an article, said the new rumor suggests that Obi-Wan is the strongest Jedi. And then I saw other people mimicking that headline. Is Obi-Wan the strongest Jedi? Like, I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. Who knows? I don't care, to be honest with you. But people run those articles. They run those headlines because they work. They get clicks. I'm going to phrase this video, does Star Wars leaks ruin the movie? And people are going to click on it wondering what my thoughts are on it or what I'm going to be talking about, because that's kind of the nature of the game. I don't think that, in essence, in regards to Star Wars, that it does ultimately cause any problems. I think we always theorize and speculate what's going to happen. There's a like, for example, Harry Potter. Okay. I will be bluntly honest. I was writing fan fiction way back like 2001. I was working on an outline of a story. I had just finished Goblet of Fire before the first movie came out. And I was hype on that cliffhanger, man. My God, that cliffhanger was amazing. And they totally picked it up in the books or in the movies. Totally killed all the tension. That and Half-Blood Prince, you bastards. But anyway, I was working on an idea of like what would happen if special forces were called in by the wizards to take out the Death Eaters, right? Like it's like, oh, we need Muggle support. And it was a story about Muggle special forces having to go and take out Voldemort and the Death Eaters and whatnot. It was a stupid idea. Nowhere near anything that happened in the books or the movies, but that's where my mind was going. Like if I was going to continue the story in a completely over the top way, that's what I would have done. And that was, I was 19 years ago. Okay. So I was 19 years old. All right. Let's just be fair about that one, all right? I wasn't like in my late 30s writing this kind of fan fiction. I'm not E.L. James. And that ain't Twilight. However, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point is like people theorize and they speculate on things and they like to talk about it. And that's one of the things the internet is good for. I still love that line from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when they say, what the fuck is the internet? Oh, it's a place for people to get together online and bitch about movies. It is true. That line Ben Affleck said in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back in 2001 is as relevant then as it is now. And it was super relevant in 2001 when they were making fun of Ain't It Cool News with moviepoopshoot.com, which as a side note was a real website for a while. I'm not kidding you. Moviepoopshoot.com was a real website. So we always theorize, we always speculate. Every time we go into something, we always kind of develop our own headcanon and we'd like to be validated. The thing with me is I watch enough movies and I have seen enough screenplays to where it's not necessarily hard to kind of figure out what happens, right? And there's a reason for that. There was a book that came out a long time ago called it's called Save the Cat, and it's written by Blake Snyder, the guy who wrote Stop My Mom Will Shoot and Blank Check. Those are his only two movies, but he fundamentally altered the course of film in Hollywood for quite some time because he wrote this beat sheet, which is meant to be a guide for new screenwriters. Like, oh, on page 10, this happens. On page 21, this happens. Page 38, this happens. Page 55 should be the start of the final act leading into your conclusion and your finale. And then everything else. That's what he did. That's right. That's what he did. And a lot of people read it. I read it. And a lot of people emulated it. I emulated it. Trust me, the few feature-length screenplays I've written, I have followed that formula because it just was told to me that is the way. That is the way we are meant to write movies. That is the formula that works. That's been established and proven. The thing is, producers hate it, but they keep buying screenplays written in that format, which is why you, the audience, can actually figure things out more often than not. I mean, there's always misdirects and things along those lines, but a true shocker is rare these days, isn't it? And going back to the point of Star Wars, what I'm trying to say here is we always create our own story in our head. So these leaks, whether they're true or not, isn't going to impact you specifically going in, isn't going to ruin it for you specifically. You either are going to believe them or not believe them or hope that they're not true, but you're like, maybe a little bit of it is or something. You're going to have your own thoughts, theories, and opinions going into this movie. And quite frankly, that's the best part of it, right? There's nothing quite like going into a highly anticipated movie, the final film in a franchise you've probably spent your whole life watching and sitting down in the theater and not knowing what's going to happen. And even in the back of your mind, if you're like, I saw this in the trailer or I read about this online, it still doesn't give you every little bit of details. And that's what keeps you on the edge of your seat until the end credits roll. And then you can go out and say, the leaks were real, the leaks were fake, I loved it, or I hated it. Again, it's the internet. It's where we all come together to bitch and moan about movies. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a few minutes because that's how I view it. That's how I view the situation when it comes to movies and leaks and theories and speculations. They're fun to read. You don't have to believe them because they're not set in stone until you're sitting in that theater watching that movie, which ultimately, let's be real here, that's the whole damn point. That's the whole point. You want to go to the movie and you want to see the film. You want to experience it. Love Star Wars or hate Star Wars, you still want to experience the finale. You want to know, is it better than The Last Jedi? Or did they royally screw it up even more? And those two choices are basically going to put you in that seat because you are still curious to find out. Doesn't matter what theory, what idea, what leak you might have read. You still don't know until you do. And that's 2 months away. And I'm very excited for those 2 months. Then when that happens, because we finally then get to see whether or not this is good or it's bad, those leaks are real or they're fake. And that's part of the fun of going to the theater. Anyway, that's my thought on this subject. What do you guys have to say about this? Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you again for watching. And if you made it this far, yeah, type Star Wars into the chat so I know. And then also hit a like. That'd help out quite a bit. Have a great day, guys, and peace out.